Hey everybody, I love you. Hey, ain't no church in a while. Sorry, preachers. No collection plate. No church. No church in a while. Preach. Hey, and welcome again to another show. You are now on another Tony Smith Rant. You are now on a Tony Smith Bible Rant, and the title of today's rant is The Mark of the Beast. Since we're dealing with 5G, AI, cloud, and smart grid, and all of this coming out, the COVID with the mask wars and everything that's going on, the mark of the beast is more significant than ever. And for people who don't understand the mark of the beast, this is a biblical perspective. Now, we must understand that the Bible is a historic document. You know what I'm saying? It's a historical document. Now, you can say, oh, it's bullshit and it's been, fixed and the Pope had the power and all of this shit. You can say all that shit you want to. But what's actually happening is that this historical document is coming to fruition. Now, whether it's an Illuminati plot to, get us to understand or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Think what you want. That's not my business to try to convince you. What my business is to show you what it's saying. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you about the mark of the beast. But before we do that, as we always do, we're going to do all of our shout-outs to our brothers and sisters. I see you, Carrie. Carrie Adams says she's mentally exhausted. I can understand that. I can understand, doing all this research all the time, I can understand the mental exhaustion that comes along with it. So you go ahead and rest, sis. You go ahead and rest. And we'll take it from here. We'll handle this. All right, so let's go ahead and do shout-outs to our brothers and sisters, and then we'll get right into the precept. Let's go. Let's start out. Oh, there goes the sister Lori Root Riley, again, the hardest working woman on Facebook. All love, sister Lori Root Riley. Got brother Robert Walker in the house, another beast. Beast mode to the brother, beast mode to the sister Lori Root Riley. Got Mandy Silvers in the house. What's going on, Mandy? All love, my sister. Again, Carrie Adams, you go rest, my sister. You go ahead and rest. Got Cheryl Rowe in the house. What's going on, sister Cheryl Rowe? Another beast. Another beast. Beast mode to the brothers and sisters. All love. Got Molly Barron in the house. What's going on, Molly Barron? All love to you, sis. Molly Barron. Got Karina Herbert. Hey, Karina Herbert. I ain't seen you in a long time. All love, Karina Herbert. All love. And we got Michelle Nix in the house. All love, Michelle. Got Stephanie Smith in the house. All love, baby girl. That's my wife right there. Let's go to some more brothers and sisters. Go to some more brothers and sisters. Pete Wilkie. Hey, man, I haven't seen Pete Wilkie. I think Pete, where are you from? You're from England, right? Or the UK? Or no, I think he's either from, I think Canada or Australia. Pete said, I'm a muzzle-wearing virgin. Hell no. Lisa Hudson is in the house. What's going on, Sister Lisa Hudson? All love to you, sister. All love, all love. All love. Yeah, he said Northern UK. Brother Pete said Northern UK. Yeah. Hey, man, I haven't seen you in a long time, brother. All love to you. All love. All right. So that's pretty much I'm going through. I'm not seeing anybody else popping up here. So welcome. Welcome, everyone. We love you. We love you. And let's go ahead and get into the precept. Now, again, like I said, Naomi just popped in. Naomi Goodwin. Naomi Goodwin just popped in. All love, Naomi. What's going on? All love. All love. All right. So now what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to go get into this lesson again. It's called the Mark of the Beast. So basically what the Mark of the Beast is, and I'm going to just go out and tell you, it's the RFID chip, which they're going to put into your brain, or they're going to put it into your hand. And what the RFID chip is it tracks you. It has your medical records on it. It has your money. It is your wallet. It is your purse. That is what the RFID chip is. And what the RFID chip will be connected to is the AI 5G smart grid moved by the Internet of Things. So the AI smart grid is the cloud, which is what they call it. They call it the cloud, right? So they're going to put all this stuff in the cloud along with Project Bluebeam and along with other projects that they have concocted to do any kind of false reality that they want to bring you. So let's see what the Bible has to say about this. Let's go over to Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19. Yes, all the way back in Leviticus. So let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19. And we're going to pick it up at verse 28. I ain't got nobody to scribe for me today, but it's all good. It's all good. Leviticus 19, and we're going to pick it up at verse 28. Leviticus 19 and 28. Now, this is one verse, but this is going to tell us what the mark is. Leviticus 19 and 28. 19 and 28, and it reads, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. So you can't cut yourself on the face. Like back in the day, people used to cut themselves to mourn the dead. You know what I'm saying? Mourn people that died. They would cut themselves. But here in verse 28, it says, you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. So these tattoos I got, I ain't supposed to have them. I am the Lord. So it says, don't print any marks upon you. So don't physically print any marks upon you, and don't mentally put any marks upon you. So when you're putting this mark of the beast in your hand or in your forehead, you are saying, I'm going to print whatever mark I want on me. You know what I'm saying? But way back here in Leviticus, it said, don't print marks upon you. Tattoos, whatever. What are those things? Brandings, to brand you? None of that. Because you're supposed to be a God, a lamb without blemish. Gods don't have all this shit all over. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be without blemish. But that is a blemish. And I messed up and I got 3 tattoos. You know what I'm saying? But when I found out that, and I even considered getting more tattoos, even after I knew this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to maintain my integrity in doing what this book tells me to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even trying to get anybody to believe or do what I do. I'm just informing you of the information. Brother Heath Stoudemire in the house. What's going on, my brother Heath? All love to you, my brother. All love. So don't deal with no marks upon your skin, upon your body, right? Don't deal with that, right? So now let's go over to Job 22 and 15. We're going to read one verse. Job 22 and 15. Job, J-O-B, Job 22 and 15. Job 22 and 15. Job 22 and 15. And we just doing the groundwork. And as we go through it, you're going to start seeing a lot of shit. But we just doing the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? So Job 22 and 15, and it reads, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? Have you marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? Have you set a mark saying, this is wicked, we don't do that shit? Have we done that? Let's go over to Job 10. Let's back up to Job 10 and pick it up at verse 14, I believe. Job, let me check. Job 10 and 14. Let me just check real quick. Job chapter 10 and 14. Yes. Job 10 and 14. And it says, if I sin, then thou markest me. So you got a mark on you if you sin. So if I sin, then thou markest me. And thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity. So if you sin willfully, fuck all this shit. I'm going to do what I want. Fuck natural law. Fuck, I'm going to kill my brother. I'm going to steal from him. I'm going to sleep with his wife. I'm going to covet after his shit. I'm also going to steal it from him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to lie to him about it. This is all natural law. You say, fuck natural law. It says, if I sin or go against natural law, then thou markest me. So this mark of the beast is God marking the ships. All of the people who get the mark of the beast, according to the Bible, they will go to the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? Now you can believe that. I don't care. I'm just telling you what the Bible says. So let's read it one more time. It says, if by sin, and sin is the transgression of the law. What law? Natural law. What's natural law? The 10 Commandments. So it says, if I sin, then thou markest me. So in the future, the mark is the mark in your forehead or in your hand. So back over to Job 22 real quick and 15. Let's read it again real quick. Job 22 and 15. It says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? How have wicked men trodden? They sin. So have you marked that way? We haven't, have we? Because we done let these motherfuckers develop the chip. We have the power as the sovereign gods of the earth to change what the Bible says. But do we? No. You want to know why? It's because we don't care enough. We don't really have love in our hearts. And I just wanted to say I'm wearing this all the time. All love to Sister Lori Riley, who got me this. Thank you. Rashad Islam is in the house, or Rashedu. I'm gonna just call you Rashad Islam. Rashad Islam. I don't know how to pronounce your name. And anyway, so that's where we at. So that's the mark. Let's go now to let's now go to Jude. Jude, it's just one book. Jude. 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 It's just one book. So let's go there. And like I said, we laying the groundwork. Because we need to go to Jude and find out who these shitters are, or the mark of the wicked man. All right? So let's see who the wicked are. So let's go. It's verse 4. It's Jude 1 chapter, verse 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before old ordained to this condemnation. Didn't we just read in Job, have you trodden the old way of the wicked man? Did we just read that? And it says here, for there are certain men crept in unawares. So everybody was unaware of this conspiracy of the New World Order, were they not? So these men are crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness. Lasciviousness means overindulgence. That's what lasciviousness means. And denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. That's on your way to learning something, on your way to learning something. Because it said, the grace of our God into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord God, which is God the Father, and our Lord Jesus Christ. So that tell you it's two in the Godhead, don't it? So verse 5, it says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. So he saved some of the people by the hand of Moses, the Israelites, and brought them into the wilderness out of Egypt. But then, because they were shitters in the wilderness, they was killed. So there ain't no respect of person with the gods, right? And then it said, let's read that again. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Verse 6, and it says, and the angels, which kept not their first estate, because the angels was in heaven, but they came down because what they do? They was marked because they sinned against God. What sin? Transgression of natural law. It said, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He hath reserved them in everlasting chains under darkness into the judgment of the great day. So what does that mean? It means they are marked. So they are marked. Let's skip down to verse 10. It says, but these speak evil of those things which they know not. Do people not speak evil of this Bible because they don't know what the fuck it's talking about? It says, but these speak evil of those things which they know not. Do we not see that in the world today? Yes, we do. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, and those things, they corrupt themselves. So sex, you know what I'm saying? Sex is supposed to be a beautiful thing with a man and a woman and a wife. You know what I'm saying? You have children and then a family. You ain't supposed to be going around screwing all these different chicks. You know what I'm saying? That's corruption. A God does not go around sleeping all over the world with all these chicks. One man, one woman. So they corrupt themselves. Because what do we read? It says they speak evil of the things they don't know. So a lot of them don't even know this shit. But they marked. You understand what I'm saying? They marked. All right, now. Verse 11. Look who seed these people are. Look who seed these people are. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain. Guess who their daddy is? Cain. Because Cain was the first one to kill somebody. The first one to lie other than Lucifer. You understand? It says, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain and ran greedily. They greedy. After the era of Baalim for reward, and perish in the gainsaying, of course. So they gainsay. They'll come, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a liar. You're a liar. No, I'm not, motherfucker. You don't know what you're talking about. So these is the people you're going to have to deal with. You understand? And we deal with them, don't we? We deal with the moron population, don't we? Come on. Right? It says, verse 12, these are spots in your feasts of charity, when they feast without you feeding themselves. Is the elite not feeding themselves on our labor, on our sweat, on our tears? Or not the elite feeding off of what we produce? And it's not supposed to be like that, but we let it, don't we? Feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, they are without water. Clouds. Because everybody's going to be put into the AI cloud. Clouds, they are without water. No raining. They can't give you the water of the word. They stupid. Just like Lord Rue Riley said, religions are all stupid. It says they are without water, carried about of winds. That means they believe anything they hear. You believe this shit they hear. You know what I'm saying? Oh, COVID-19 is real. Oh, we better wear masks. Believe whatever the fuck they want. It says trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit. Twice dead. How are they twice dead? It is given all men to die once. Does everybody go into the ground? Yes, we do. Right? That's the first death. The second death is the lake of fire. So they twice dead. Plucked up by the roots. talking people, brothers and sisters. The Lord is referring to us as trees. Who is in the Garden of Eden? The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Who is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Lucifer. It says, raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame. They are ashamed of themselves and want to take you with them. They want to take you with them. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. In other words, they marked. They marked. These are the people who will be marked, who are marked. These people. They're your mama, they're your daddy, they're your uncle, they're your cousin, they're your brother, they're your sister. You just got to know who you are. You have to know who you are. You are way more powerful than anybody give you credit for. So now, let's move. Let's keep reading a little bit. Let's skip now. Verse 16. It says, these are murmurers, complainers. These are, you know these, oh my God, I need more, complain about every fucking thing. It says, hold on, I lost my place. Oh, verse 16, it says, these are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts. They're not following natural law. They walk after their own lusts. If they want to kill somebody, they're going to get them killed. If they want to steal from somebody, they're going to steal. If they want to lie to somebody, they're going to lie. So it says, they walk after their own lusts, in their mouths speaking great swelling words. Do these presidents and all these so-called preachers and all these so-called men and women of influence, do they not speak great swelling words? And the United States shall do this, and we shall come out of our economic depression. Motherfucker, live natural law and leave people alone. That's what you're supposed to do. But you always want to fuck with somebody, don't you? You always want to be in somebody's business because you a busybody, tail-bearing piece of shit. So we got to stand up to these people. Don't just turn your head and give them like, man, I ain't even going to deal with them. Let them know, man, get the fuck out of my face, you wicked piece of shit. Get the fuck out. Who the fuck you think you are talking to me like that? You know what I'm saying? Stand up to these people. It says, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. They admire each other because of advantage. This is how they are separating themselves from the rest of the population. They marked, brothers and sisters, don't follow them. Then we read that they marked, sin marks them. Did we not read that in Job? So now, verse 17 says, but beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken before the apostles of the Lord Jesus Christ, how that they told you there should be mockers in the last time, who should walk out their own ungodly lusts. These be they who separate themselves, sensual, having not the Spirit. Do they not separate themselves, brothers and sisters? Are they not building underground bunkers to separate themselves from us? Do they not think we are disgusting? Do they not think we are disgusting to them? Is that not fact? Yes. These are the people, brothers and sisters. And we got to stop capitulating to them. So now, that's good. That's good. Let's move on now. Let's go over now to Genesis chapter 4. We go into Genesis chapter 4 and show the beginning, the first marking of the people. So let's go to Genesis 4. Genesis 4. Genesis 4. Genesis chapter 4. And I know some of you new people who coming in, I see a few new people coming in, and y'all like, oh my God, he's reading the Bible and he's saying curse words. What the hell is going on here? Hey, God didn't say nothing about no curse words, brothers and sisters. He talking about don't curse your brother. Don't curse your sister. Jesus, the cuss words of his time was viper, pisser. You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out of here with your, oh my gosh, he's cursing. If you got a problem with it, peace. I'll holler at you. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis 4. Remember when we read that they go in the way of Cain? Them shitters, the marked ones, the ones who are marked for death, twice dead. Did we read that? Those people, right? Now, the ones that follow Cain, so let's deal with it. Genesis 4 and 1, and let's read. It says, Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she began, and she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep. Keep that in mind. But Cain was a tiller of the ground, right? A tiller of the ground. And man was cursed by the sweat of his face will he eat bread all the days of his life. For thus thou art, and thus thou shalt return, right? So Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3, in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. So Cain brought some fruit of the ground, like he made some strawberries, grapes, not apples, because that's a tree. But, he made some sort of fruit, but he didn't give the best of his fruit to the Lord. He just was like, oh shit, I got to give it an offering. Here, he could just take these grapes. That's what he did. Now watch. It says, and verse 4, and Abel, he also of the firstlings. The firstlings means the best, the firstlings. He said the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. He made sure there was no blemish. He gave the Lord the best of what he had. Cain just said, oh shit, here's some fruit, Lord. I don't know what the fuck. But Abel took time to give his best. He said, and Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth. Wroth means angry. And his countenance fell. So he got pissed off and jealous. Dude, if you would have brought the best, you would have been cool. But because you a wicked piece of shit, you got jealous. Like, well, Abel get the Lord blessing. Why couldn't my fruit get no? Because you didn't bring the best, you bitch. And this is the same thing with these shitters today. They want to be some lazy pieces of shit, but try to get the best of everything. Verse 6, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shalt thou not be accepted? Yeah, if you do well, won't I accept you? If you would have gave me the best of your fruit, wouldn't I have accepted it? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. Did we not read that in Job? Did we not read that? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. So he got so jealous, so mad, that he killed his brother. He broke natural law because what did he do? He walked after his own lusts. And that's what we can't do. We can't walk after our own lusts. We have other gods to think about. We have Sandy Ceason to think about. We got Tyrone Powers to think about. We got Lori Riley to think about. We got all each other to think about. You know what I'm saying? That's love. Caring about your brother or your sister. You understand? But he didn't care about nobody but himself. And this is what all of these shitters are like. They don't care about nothing but they self. And this is why they want to enslave us. Because they have gotten so puffed up that they think they the gods of the earth when we are the gods of the earth. Verse 9, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? Now Cain know he killed his brother. He know it. He don't even have no remorse for it. Look at it. It says, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. A lie, he lied. So first, he killed him. That's natural law. Then he lied. That's natural law. He said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Then you get smart with the Lord. Then you get a smart. Didn't I say complainers? Did we read that? They complainers. Am I my brother's? I'll slap the shit. He's lucky. The Lord is merciful. Or the Lord, ooh, couldn't have been me. I would have cut him down right there. But the Lord is merciful. So he cursed the ground instead of killing Cain. That's called mercy. So he said, am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. He God, man. Of course he. Verse 11, and now art thou cursed, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened up her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. It's not these globalists, fugitives and vagabonds. Why do you not think they claim one country? None of these globalists, New World Order pieces of shit claim a country. Why? Because they are fugitives in the earth. They are vagabonds. And a vagabond is a beggar. And they can't till the ground. So what they do, they created a whole new world order to get us to till the ground for them, and they eat from our hands. Did we not read that in Job? In Jude. Twice dead, these people. They are marked here and in the hand. So now, let's keep going. It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Look at little crybaby. You go, oh, it's too much for me, God. Oh my God. Look, the Lord gonna have more mercy. So he said, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. He's like, see, somebody gonna kill me because I'm not in your presence. You should have thought about that before you killed your brother and lied to God. they carried away with every wind of doctrine. And in verse 15 he said, and the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever shall slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain. The Lord set a mark upon Cain. Did we not read about that mark in Job? Did we not read about them people going after the ways of Cain that are marked? This is the mark. He said, I set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So that's the first one, y'all. That's the first one to get marked. And then from him on, it's been a mark. So now, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's now go to Psalm 49. Psalm 49. Look at how these people think. These people who are marked. Psalm 49. Psalm 49. Psalm 49. Verse 1. Psalm 49 and 1. And it reads, hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the earth, of the world. Let's read that again. He ain't talking about a certain, he's saying, hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. Both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to sayings upon the heart. Okay, they starting. Okay, hey, don't leave real quick. I gotta fix this real quick. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. But we're in Psalms 49, and we about to deal with these people, these globalists, these shitters that have gone in the way of Cain, these people who are marked. Okay? Give me 1 second, we'll get right back to it. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for waiting for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. Is that verse 4? So now let's go to verse 6. Verse 6, Psalm 49 and 6. It says, Psalm 49 and 6. It says, they that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. Do we know them people, Bill Gates? You know what I'm saying? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all of these people who have gone in the way of Cain. It said, they that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. So they can't redeem. We can redeem our brothers and sisters because we got knowledge, right? We got knowledge so we can redeem them. And we can give to God a ransom because we know God. You understand? They can't do that shit. So, for the redemption of their soul is precious. Why is the redemption of the shitter's soul precious? It's because it is easier for the camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God or into sovereignty. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. In other words, these people are not going to the kingdom. All these people. Now, like I said, you can believe that, you ain't got to believe that. It makes me no difference. Verse 9, it says that he should still live forever and not see corruption. So they think they're going to live forever and not see corruption. How? Because now, in our time, what are they doing? They're trying to connect to the AI cloud and upload their consciousness to the cloud and live forever through the cloud. When you could just live forever by keeping natural law. You do natural law, you can live forever. Your body can regenerate itself. But what do? Feed us fluoride. Feed us GMOs. Make big pharma down on us. All these artificial drugs and shit. Changing the atmosphere through the Heart Project and chemtrails. Trying to blot out the sun. So, that they should live forever and not see corruption. But they think they could do that. But look, it says, verse 9 or verse 10, for he seeth that wise men die. So these shitters see that wise men even die. So they're like, fuck. But they know eventually they're going to try to live forever. So they like, he seeth that wise men die. Likewise, the fool and the brutish person perish and leave their wealth to others. Do they not do that? It's not the Rockefellers pass their wealth down their family line. Every 7 years, you're supposed to give up all your wealth, according to the scriptures, and start over. Like bankruptcy. That's what it's called secularly, is bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? All debts are supposed to be forgiven and all wealth put back into the pot and redistributed. That's how it's supposed to be. But what they do, they hoard their wealth and pass it to their families. When we all supposed to be the family of God. Then we read, they separate themselves from us. They marked. Verse 11, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. So they know they can't live forever. So they like, our houses will continue forever. The house of Rothschild will continue forever. The house of Rockefeller will continue forever. The house of DuPont will continue forever. The house of Oppenheimer will continue forever. You understand? This is their thoughts. And their dwelling places to all generations. They call lands after, and they do call their lands after their own names, don't they? You know it's true. You know it is. So now, verse 12, and we'll move on, and it says, nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. Verse 13, this their way is their folly. It's bullshit. Yet their posterity approve their sayings. Posterity is they people. The Mockingbird media, they approve their sayings. Where we try to disprove their sayings. We know their sayings are lies, but Mockingbird media approve their sayings. Talk about it's easier to kill 1 million people than control 1 million people. Oh yes, that's awesome. We got to depopulate the earth 1 million. Yes, there is overpopulation. It's bullshit, brothers and sisters. It's all lies. And like Brother Tyrone just said, now they can live forever through the AI cloud, uploading the consciousness to the AI cloud. And everybody's going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. That ain't awesome. It's not going to be awesome when you are controlled by the AI cloud, when you can't do nothing of your own, and they're reading your thoughts. So if you think anything wrong, if you think like I think, they'll kill your ass, give you a brain aneurysm, a heart attack, because they control every inch of your body, mind, and soul. You want that? I ain't. And they're going to cut my head, cut it off. Cut my head off. Because I'm not giving in to none of this shit. Let's move on. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6 and deal with some more of these shitters. 1 Timothy chapter 6. 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 Shit, I keep passing it up. 1 Timothy chapter 6. 1 Timothy 6. We're going to pick it up at verse 3. 1 Timothy 6 and 3. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 3. And it reads, if any man teach otherwise, and consent not to the wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions. Do they not dote about questions? The shitters, when we tell them about the Heart Project, do they not say, those are cumulus clouds? Fucking cumulus clouds, them chemtrails. Well, the world is overpopulated. No, it ain't. They hoard in the wealth, so it's artificially induced. He is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about question and strifes of words. Is that not what we deal with? Railings, evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth. Do we not deal with people who destitute of the truth? They can't even hear or see the truth. That's why they're wearing a fucking mask, because they can't hear or see. So destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. They think the richer you are, the more you got. Is that not what we dealing with? These super rich billionaires thinking they God when we God. It's supposing gain is godliness. From such withdraw yourself. Fuck them. Don't hang around them kind of people. Because when you hang around a shitter, is that not going to make you a shitter? Is that not going to influence you to be a shitter? If you hang around them, you are what you eat, ain't you? So withdraw yourself from them people. Tell them they pieces of shit and withdraw. What does that mean? Withdraw your consent. Withdraw your consent. You understand? This Bible is telling exactly what the fuck we doing today. God is saying withdraw your consent, decentralize into sovereignty, and become God and live forever. That is the message of the Bible. That's good. That's good. Let's skip to verse 9 and read that real quick. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Destruction and perdition. If you ain't getting this, I'm sorry. But we went through all this shit for us to understand this, right? So many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, chasing that mighty dollar, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows. What they pierce themselves here and in their hand. And also, rich men don't sleep well for worry of their wealth. Rich men is always worried about their money. So they don't sleep good at all for worry of their wealth. Who gonna steal from me? I got to hoard it. I got to hide it. This is what we dealing with, brothers and sisters. The people who are marked. And we got to keep ourselves marked with the mark of God, not the mark of Lucifer. So now, let's move on. Let's go now to Colossians. Let's back up. Back up to Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Yeah, we're going to deal with that mark of the beast here shortly, but we got to lay the groundwork on why there's a mark of the beast. Where did this concept come from? It comes from Cain. All these people are descendants of Cain. Chapter 2, verse 8. It reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Philosophy and vain deceit. Be careful. These motherfuckers think they smart when they use astrology, when they use all these sciences. Be careful. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, like Christmas, Easter, January, New Year. Do you know that the actual New Year is in April? And April is actually the first month of Abib. Now, we didn't know that April is the first month of Abib. But these shitters know that April is the first month of Abib, which is why the Pope thinks he is God, that he could change times and laws. The Pope Gregory is the one who changed fucking the April New Year to the January New Year. And they made fun of the people who continued to keep the New Year in Abib. It's called April Fools. That's where April Fools come from, brothers and sisters. The Pope and the Catholics and all these people making fun of the people who continue to keep the real New Year. So, that's what we dealing with. After the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. So they don't have the Godhead in their mind. They think they God in the body. So they want to upload themselves to the cloud. But we God in the mind and will be in the body once we resurrect. We are God. They ain't God. They don't follow natural law. If you do not follow natural law, you ain't God. Period. So now, let's go over to Romans 16 and 17. Romans 16 and 17. Romans chapter 16 and 17. Romans 16 and 17. One verse. Romans chapter 16 and 17. Romans 16 and 17. Just one verse, brothers and sisters. Romans 16 and 17. And it reads, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. So mark the shitters and avoid them. Don't fucking get into this big ass argument because you'll end up in Facebook jail, right? You start arguing with a moron, you end up in Facebook jail. You understand? So again, it says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions. So mark these people. They not trying to do nothing but stop you from being silent. That's all they trying to do. Let's go to the next place. Let's go over to Matthew chapter 10. Back up to Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, Matthew 10 and 32. Matthew chapter 10 and 32. Matthew 10 and 32. Matthew 10 and 32. Matthew 10 and 32, and it reads, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I have come to send peace on the earth. Jesus said, think not I've come. You see how these fake churches, these fucking religions say, oh, Jesus loves us and he's gonna save us. No, he ain't saving shit. Jesus only loves those who love him. He said, think not I am come to send peace on the earth. I am come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Are not your foes of your own household? Are not your family coming against you because you telling them this truth about the COVID-19? You letting them know that COVID-19 is fake? Are they not against you? Are they not about to put your ass out the house for it? Yes, they are, aren't they? So we in good company when people are against us. We in good company. Don't think that you are wrong because the majority hate you. You right. You right, they wrong. So now, let's move on. Let's now go to Romans. Let's go over to Romans 1. This is the Catholic Church, y'all. This is the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. The book of Romans should actually be called the book of Catholics. It should be called the book of Catholics because that's who it's talking to. So let's go over to Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. Romans 1 and 18. Romans 1 and 18. Romans 1 and 18, and it reads, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. These shitters know the truth. They know that there's two in the Godhead. They know all this shit. They know it all. So they hold the truth in unrighteousness. Remember, they call themselves the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, the ones who have the knowledge. It says, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so they are without excuse. So they know. They understand all this shit, brothers and sisters. They know. Professing themselves, verse 21. It says, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So they changed with Caesar Borgia. That ain't Jesus. That picture of Jesus, that's not Jesus. That's Caesar Borgia. A bastard child of a corrupt pope. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie. They changed the truth of God into a lie. Sunday worship, that's a lie. Christmas, lie. Easter, lie. Jesus born Good Friday, or Jesus dying on Good Friday and raising Easter Sunday morning, lie. January being a new year, lie. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, all those names are lies. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all that is a lie. Those are names of false gods who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature, who is Lucifer, more than the Creator, who is Jesus, who is blessed forever. Amen. And for this cause, God gave them up. My bad. And for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Why did the women change the natural use of their body against nature? Because the Catholic Church don't let their priests and their women sleep with people. They make them be celibate. When the Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. So this is what make the Catholics sleep with little boys and all this shit. You understand? It says, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their flesh one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in them the recompense of the error of their way, of the error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind. How you gonna reason with somebody with a reprobate mind? Reprobate means insolent. Nothing. Ain't got shit going for theyself. When you reprobate, you won't listen to shit. That's why the Pope think he can say he God, because he won't listen to nothing. He reprobate. To do those things which are not convenient, like sleeping with kids, the priests, and then the nuns. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with little girls. And it's because of the fake sanctioning of celibacy in the Catholic Church. That's why this shit going on. Plus, they lying about God. So we give them a reprobate mind. Verse 29, it says, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. This is what all these motherfuckers is doing, man. Who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Twice dead. Did we not read that in Jude? They twice dead. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So they get pleasure out of watching somebody else do bogus shit. So when the Pope kill 20,000. They got pleasure in that, and they want to kill 40. You understand? So now, let's move on now. Let's go now to World Book Encyclopedia. Because I need y'all to, it's volume 16, because we about to deal with the Pope. Since we just read about his church, now we got to deal with him and how he's ruling the earth right now. Because through the Pope is how they're going to put their mark upon your forehead or in your hand. We're supposed to mark them by knowing that these peoples are pieces of shit. And we're supposed to put it out there that they pieces of shit. Right? We mark them. They want to mark us. You understand? So now, let's go to World Book Encyclopedia, volume 16, page 409. Because we got to run down this Pope. So, World Book Encyclopedia, volume 16, page 409. So let's go there real quick. Page 409. I'm going. World Book Encyclopedia, volume 16, page 409. Page 409. And it reads, this is talking about the Catholic Church, the first 300 years. Catholics trace the beginnings of their church to Palestine. Oh, they call it Palestine. Why they call it Palestine? Because that's what the Romans called it. So when they calling it Israel, that ain't Israel. That's Palestine. Only reason it's called Israel is because the people were Israel. You understand? So it's Palestine because the people of Israel are not there. Them people over there who calling themselves Jews, they ain't Jews, they fake. And we can read that. They Edomites and Ashkenazi Gentiles or Europeans. It says there, according to the Bible, Christ told the apostles to preach the gospel to all peoples. In Jerusalem, the Holy Spirit came upon the earliest believers. The first Christians were Jews. Oh, the first Christians were Jews, brothers and sisters. The first Christians were Jews. And then to even be called a Christian, that is actually derogatory. Because when the first Jews were called Christians, people were like, oh, the Christians. They was making fun of them. So to be called a Christian is to be called a shitter. So it says the first Christians were Jews who believed that Jesus was the Messiah, the Savior expected by the Jews. The early church gradually divorced itself from the religion of the Jews. So the Pope and the Catholic Church divorced themselves from the Jews or the God of Israel or the Bible. They divorced themselves from that. Did we not read in Romans chapter 1, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, who changed the truth into a lie? Did we not read that? It says, however, the church accepted the Jewish scriptures both as a record of God's dealing with his chosen people and as a guide leading to Jesus Christ. St. Paul became the most important person to carry the gospel to the Gentiles. He regarded himself as a divinely appointed apostle to the Gentiles. Paul founded many churches and exercised authority over them through visits and letters. These are all the letters in the Bible that we read. Romans, Colossians, Corinthians. All of these are letters from Paul. You understand? So it says visits and letters. He also presented their interest with the mother church in Jerusalem. So the Catholics call themselves the mother church, but the mother church was in Jerusalem, which is also why the Pope wants to get back to Jerusalem so that he can validate himself being God, because the mother church is supposed to be in Jerusalem. You understand? After Paul's death, about 67 AD, as soon as Paul died, the Catholic Church went to work destroying the truth. As soon as Paul died, because they were scared as fuck of Paul. And then, because of that too, they said Peter was the first pope. Paul, the one who started the Catholic Church, but y'all get a credit to Peter. Why? Because they liars. Twice dead, brothers and sisters. The number of Gentile churches continued to expand rapidly. By about 140 AD, the center of Christianity had passed from Jerusalem to Christian communities in the cities of Antioch in Syria, Alexandria in Egypt, and especially in Rome. So this is what it is. So let's continue. It says the hierarchy of the church has three levels. The Pope, who holds responsibility for the whole church, a bishop for a diocese, and a pastor for a parish. The popes appoint bishops, who in turn appoints pastors. The Pope, who is the Bishop of Rome, holds the church's highest office. Catholics believe that he is Jesus' representative on earth. Catholics believe he is Jesus' representative on earth. Vicarious Philadelphia, the vicar of Christ. Catholics believe that he is Jesus' representative on earth and the successor of St. Peter, the first pope. They regard him as the spiritual leader of the worldwide church. See, they said Peter was the first pope. No, Peter was not the first pope. If you want to know if that was a first pope, the first pope was Paul, because he started the Catholic Church. So that's what we're dealing with, the Pope and the Catholic Church. And the mark of the beast is going to come from the Pope. You understand? So now, let's go to Revelation chapter 17 now that we understand that. Revelation 17. Revelation chapter 17. Revelation 17. Revelation chapter 17. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Revelation 17 and 1. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1, and it reads, And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. You know who the great whore is? The Catholic Church, the papacy. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Fornication in this context is spiritual fornication. Lies. You understand? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Do not all the kings of the earth go kiss the ring of the Pope? Kiss the ring, bitches. Do they not kiss the Pope's ring? Do they not all have to dress in black while the Pope dresses in white? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. What is the wine of the Pope's fornication? It is the false doctrine that come out that church. Good Friday, Jesus died Good Friday evening, rose Easter Sunday morning. Lie. Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Lie. You know what I'm saying? This is the fornication. And they've been made drunk. Do not the whole world keep Christmas? Do not the whole world acknowledge January 1st as the new year? Do not the whole world do Easter? Do not the whole world do Halloween, All Hallows Eve? All these are pagan in origin. You want to know why? Because Pope Gregory is the Pope who combined paganism with so-called Christianity. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitteth upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So the woman, which is the papacy, which is the Catholic Church, sit on a scarlet colored beast. You know what this beast is? This beast is the Roman Empire. Brother Tyrone Power said the fall of Roman Empire was Christianity. The Holy Roman Empire came after the fall of the Roman Empire in Constantinople by Constantine, 476 AD. And what came from that in 800 AD, the Pope crowned Charlemagne king of the Roman Empire, and then from that point forward, the Roman Empire became the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire lasted all the way to 1806. And ever since then, they've been trying to revive the Roman Empire. Through World War I, they tried to revive the Roman Empire. Through World War II, they tried to revive the Roman Empire. And now they have revived the Roman Empire. What is the Roman Empire? The European Union. And who is its colonies? Israel and the United States are the colonies of the Roman Empire. They are using these proxies and they're in confederacy together. You know what I'm saying? It's a confederacy. It's a bloodline of families who are in confederacy with one another. And then you can look up the 13 bloodlines, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. It go on and on. 13 of them. And the significance of 13 is because there was 12 apostles and Jesus made 13. This is why their number is significant. So, let's continue. And we'll deal with the 7 heads and the 10 horns here shortly, okay? Because I know y'all don't understand. Well, if that's if the European Union is the Roman Empire, what is these 7 heads and 10 horns? I'm going to show you in a second. Verse 4, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Yes, she's a mother. Remember the Catholics called themselves the Mother Church? She is a mother of harlots. How is the Catholic Church a mother of harlots? Because you have all these Protestant churches everywhere. These Protestant churches, these so-called Christian churches, are the daughters of the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? So, let's skip to verse 9. Verse 9, it says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. Here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. What is the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth? The 7 hills of Rome. The Vatican City sits on 7 hills. You understand? The one who has wisdom. Vatican City. We could read that actually. Let's go to the last 2 million years. The last 2 million years. This is the last 2 million years history book. Last 2 million years. And we're going to go to page 110. Last 2 million years, page 110. Last 2 million years, page 110. Last 2 million years, page 110. Now check this. The Romans dominated the ancient world for almost 500 years. they conquered the world of ancient Greece, the Romans absorbed the best of Greek culture and passed on its legacy of art, architecture, science, and philosophy. Remember, it said, don't be deceived by vain philosophies. It says philosophy of the Western world. They added to it a typically Roman sense of discipline and respect for the law, which lies at the foundation of Western society to the present day. Rome was founded on 7 hills by the banks of the river Tiber. Rome was founded on 7 hills by the banks of the river Tiber, but another 800 years were passed before it became the center of the largest empire the world had ever known. That's history. And the Bible lines right up with it, right? Verse 9, back to Revelation chapter 17, verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Did we just not read in history that Rome was built on 7 hills? So we can easily see that that's the Catholic Church, the papacy. So now, let's skip to verse 15. Because remember, I told you we're going to deal with the 7 heads and the 10 horns, right? Now we're going to deal with the 10 horns. Verse 15. And he saith unto me, the water which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples. So the whore that sitteth on many waters are people. Because the Catholic Church is a worldwide church. Did we not read that in the encyclopedia? And multitudes and nations and tongues. Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The 10 kingdoms shall hate the Pope. Do not the France, Germany, Italy all hate the Pope? They are all Protestants. They're not Catholics, they Protestants. Wasn't she the mother of harlots? It says, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So let's go see, back up to verse 12. Back up to verse 12. My bad, I skipped verse 12. Verse 12, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Let me show you that these 10 kings, they got their kingdom now. This is from, hold on. This is from the decision of the Council of the Western European Union on the residual rights and obligations of the European Union. And let me read it to you. Recalling that the cessation of activities of the organization will be effective June 30th, 2011. Considering that it is incumbent upon the Permanent Council to ensure the support of these residual administrative obligations by another legal entity, particularly the Western European Union's residual obligations with respect to its staff, considering here are the 10 kings. Belgium, 1. France, 2. Germany, 3. Greece, 4. Italy, 5. Luxembourg, 6. Netherlands, 7. Portugal, 8. Spain, 9. And the United Kingdom, 10. Agree that they shall, under international law, be jointly liable. Did we not read that these kings will have power together for 1 hour with the beast? Did we not read that? Be jointly liable for fulfilling the residual administrative obligations of the EU, and that, to this extent, they will assume jointly jointly the rights and obligations of the European Union. So these 10 nations control the 27-nation bloc of the European Union. These 10 nations. So now it says support for the liquidation of EU goods and services before June 30th, 2011. The EU will enter into an administrative agreement or arrangement with European Union satellite states to ensure the implementation of the European Union's Council decision, May 23rd, 2011, in accordance with Belgium, 1, France, 2, Germany, 3, Greece, 4, Italy, 5, Luxembourg, 6, the Netherlands, 7, Portugal, 8, Spain, 9, and the United Kingdom, 10. Hereafter, call the 10. They call themselves the 10. They call themselves the 10. They know what's going on. You understand? Recognize that they will be jointly responsible, including financially, to the extent of the key governing mandatory contributions to the European Union satellite states, vis-a-vis the European Union, with respect to its EU administrative obligations specified in paragraph 1 of this decision. So back to Revelations chapter 17 and verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. You see, it fits right like a glove with history. Why? Because the Bible is a historical document. So now we know the European Union is the New World Order's landmass. It is the epicenter of the New World Order. You understand? Hey, Joanna Louise Barnes, I can destroy that thought process you bring and talking about it makes no sense. The Bible was written 800 years after Moses died. No, you are not understanding. You need to do my Tony Smith Bible rant called The Origins of the KJV. See, this is what happens when you get half truth, when you get some truth. You can't come out here running your mouth until you get all of it. You think I came out here talking this shit without knowing everything? Moses didn't write it. Listen, I'm not going to let you come in here and destroy the goodness that's happening, right? I love you, Joanna Barnes, but you are dead wrong in your thought process. You are ill-informed. Now, let's go to Matthew chapter 15. Since we know that the Pope is going to be the religious ruler, it's going to be a secular ruler of the European Union, which is the Queen of England today. The Queen of England today is the leader of the European Union, the Queen of England. And the Pope is the religious ruler. So now, let's go to Matthew 24 and 15. Matthew 24 and 15. Matthew chapter 24 and 15. Matthew 24 and 15. And Joanna, I'm not trying to be harsh with you, Joanna. I'm not trying to be harsh with you, okay? But when people say shit against what I know to be true, I get pissed. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me if I'm being harsh to you, but I get pissed off at people when they say shit they don't know what the fuck they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I worked hard learning all this shit. You understand? I gave up my life for this so that everybody can have an understanding. I gave up my life. Matthew 24 and 15. Matthew 24 and 15. And it reads, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. So when you see the Pope in the temple that the fake Jews build for their Messiah, know that the end is nigh. And when the Pope stand over there, know that it is now time for the mark of the beast. You understand? So now, let's go over to Daniel and read that. Go over to Daniel and read that. So let's go over to Daniel chapter 8 and verse 9. Daniel 8 and 9. Daniel chapter 8 and 9. Daniel 8 and 9. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 9. Daniel 8 and 9. Daniel 8 and 9. And it says, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great towards the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. What's the pleasant land? The pleasant land is the land of Israel. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. The host of heaven are the angels of heaven. And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. This little horn is the papacy. It's the Pope, this little horn. And it says, yea, he magnify himself even to the prince of the host. This Pope, this little horn, magnify himself. Who is the prince of the host? Jesus. So he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away. Because these fake Jews are going to build their third temple, and then they're going to reinstitute animal sacrifice because they don't believe Jesus' blood was the sacrifice and that there is a new covenant. So they believe that there's a Messiah yet to come, which is why they're going to accept the Pope coming over there being the Messiah, because he's going to take away the daily sacrifice like Jesus' blood. Because what is the Pope? The Pope has to mimic what Jesus has done so that he can make himself, magnify himself as God. You understand? So yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. And it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Do not the Catholic Church and the Pope cast the truth to the ground? And do they not practice and prosper? Yes, they do. It is the richest church on the planet. Verse 13, and this is how long the Pope is going to rule in Jerusalem. This is how long the Pope will rule. It says, then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation? That is what we read in Matthew chapter 24. The abomination of desolation, abomination and transgression are intertwined words. So the abomination or transgression, the transgression of desolation. This is the Pope. How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host trodden underfoot? So he said, how long the Pope gonna sit in the fake Jews' temple? How long will he rule over the earth? How long will this Pope rule? And he said unto me, 2,300 days. Then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So he gonna ruled for 2,300 days. It's almost 4 years, brothers and sisters. You understand? So that's how long the Pope is going to sit in that temple. And during those years, those 3.5 years, the Pope is going to distribute the chip to the people. Just like he practiced distributing it to you by putting a fucking cross on your forehead on Ash Wednesday. He is prepping you for that mark of the beast. And we don't even know it. So now, let's skip to verse 22. Verse 22, and it says, and now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to full, the king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. This is the Pope. And by his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully. He shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. We are the holy people, brothers and sisters, because we follow natural law. We have empathy or love for one another. We will not kill our brother. We will not lie to our brother. We will not steal from our brother. We will not sleep with our brother's wife. We will not covet after our brother's shit. We'll go buy our own stuff. This is who they want us to kill, brothers and sisters. This is who they want dead. Us, the true sovereign gods of the earth. Night, brother Tyrone Powers. All love, brother. All love. Night. So this is what we're dealing with. Verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper. What craft? Freemasonry, brothers and sisters. He shall cause Freemasonry. All of this shit to prosper. And does he not cause it to prosper? Yes, he does. And in his hand, and shall magnify, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. Magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Do not the Pope be running around, peace be unto you, peace be unto you. Oh, so by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes. Who is the prince of princes? Jesus. But he shall be broken without hand, because when the Pope is done ruling, Jesus is going to come back and destroy all of them and take back the earth. That's according to the Bible. Believe it, don't believe it, makes me no difference. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. So let's move on now. So now let's go to, let's read that the Pope has a seat in Jerusalem. The Pope does have a seat in Jerusalem. You think he don't? He going back. The Pope going to go back to Jerusalem. Let's read it. This is from a Jewish newspaper called Arutz Sheva. Arutz Sheva. That's what it's called. Arutz Sheva is from a Jewish newspaper. And it reads, an historic agreement has been drafted between Israel and the Vatican. The Israeli authorities have granted the Pope an official seat in the room where the Last Supper is believed to have taken place on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, and where David and Solomon, Jewish kings of Judea, are considered by some researchers to also have been buried. So they have already given a Pope a seat on the Temple Mount. Already. It's in a Jewish newspaper. So they already got the shit. While we all preoccupied with COVID-19 and masks and all this shit, they are doing this New World Order. And the New World Order is one world government, one world religion, one world currency, all under the power of the secular ruler, which is the Queen of England right now, and the religious ruler, which is the Pope. That is what we're dealing with. So now, let's go to Revelations chapter 13 now. Revelation 13. Revelation 13. We almost there, y'all. Just bear with me. We almost there. Revelation 13. Revelation 13. Revelation 13, we're going to pick it up at verse 11. Revelation 13 and 11. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11, and it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb." Why does this beast have two horns like a lamb? This is the Pope. You understand? And he spake as a dragon. How did he speak as a dragon? Because he is speaking Lucifer's words. Lucifer said that Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Lucifer said that Jesus died Good Friday evening and rose Easter Sunday morning. Lucifer said that the worship of the goddess Janus and January being the new year. Lucifer's words. You understand? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast. Who is the first beast? The first beast is the European Union. The Pope crowned Charlemagne, so now the Pope is infallible. So the Pope controls the rulers, which is why the rulers have to kiss the rings when they come visit the Pope. You have to kiss the Pope's ring to show your allegiance to the papacy. So it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwelled therein to worship the first beast. Caused everybody to worship the Queen of England. Whose deadly wound was healed. Because the Roman Empire fell in 476, then came the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire fell in 1806, and now you have the European Union. So that deadly wound of that Roman Empire is now healed, is it not? Do we not see the European Union over there? Yes, we do. The deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven. What is this fire coming down from heaven, brothers and sisters? It's the Dew Project, or Project Bluebeam. You understand? In the sight of men. So let's deal with that. Let's get on that. Let's see if I still even have it. Let's see. Hold on. Because I want to show y'all this Project Bluebeam. And we almost done, y'all. I'm actually running out of juice on this phone. So if I die, if this phone dies, it's not me being censored. It's that the phone went dead. Yeah, so see, man. So my internet is down, so I can't show y'all these. But what I'll do is I'll put all these videos that I got to give you a visual representation of what we're reading about. I'm going to just put them in the comments for you, okay? I was going to put them out here so we could watch them together, but I'll just put them in the comments for you And then if you want to go back, you can watch the videos in the comments, all right? Because I have to reset this computer and all this shit because I'm on data right now because my internet went down. And that's possibly could be anything. So it is what it is. So let's continue. We're in Revelations chapter 13. And we read about the Dew Project or Project Bluebeam, where he made fire come down from heaven in the sight of men. Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image unto the beast, or make an image unto the Queen of England, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, which is the European Union. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which is Project Bluebeam, brothers and sisters. It's a hologram. He had power to give life to the beast. And the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you know this is Project Bluebeam and you call it out that this is Project Bluebeam, they're going to come to your house and kill you in this time. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save they had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, which is the Pope, and his number is 666, or in other words, 666. Now, the Pope's name is Vicarious Philadelphia, which means the Vicar of Christ. And the Vicar of Christ means the replacement of Christ. This is what Vicarious Philadelphia is. And if you do Vicarious Philadelphia in Roman numerals and add them all up, they add up to 666. So the number of this man and the man whose number it is the Pope. His office, the papacy. Now, I was going to show you that as well, but my internet went down, so I will put that as well in the comments for you. Okay? So that's what we're going to be dealing with. And are we not almost there? We see the beginning stages of this, don't we? Through the AI smart grid, the AI cloud. You understand? 5G. These cellular phones, all of this shit is preparation. I'll get to y'all comments here in a second. Hopefully I have enough time. So now let's go over to Revelation chapter 14. Let's just go over to the 14th verse, or the 14th chapter, and we'll read the chapter. And I'm almost out of juice, so I'm going to have to cut this up. But again, later on date, I will do a better mark of the beast at a later date where I'll give you all the information. Maybe I'll do this over in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Just do it all over again. But I have some issues, some computer issues. But it is what it is. Let's keep it moving. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads. This is the mark of God. The name of God is Jesus. The name of the Father is Jesus. The name of the Son is Jesus the Christ. That is how you could tell them difference of them. You understand? So, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion with him and 144,000. That's all the sovereign gods of the earth, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as a voice of many waters, and as a voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they that which were not defiled with the woman. These are they who would not follow the Catholic Church as us. We don't follow the Catholic Church. Fuck the Catholic Church. We are not defiled with the woman, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. So the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb, let's go read who the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. Let's go over to Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. Revelation 20 and 4. And it reads, And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them which were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark in their foreheads or in their hands.
You can let that breathe for 10 minutes. All looking good. I'll come back and I'll dress them.
Do you see? These are interaction nodes. If I use this finger, I can open all the doors at work, no ID. And if I just scan this in the shop, I can pay for anything up to £1,000. And look, Dad, Mom, I've just taken your photo. Send and send. It doesn't need the sound effect. I just added that because it makes me laugh.
You promised me they wouldn't touch your eyes. Not after last time.
That was years ago. Grant's had stem cells in her eyes since then.
I can't help thinking, don't laugh. All these power cuts. Well, what would happen to you?
Nothing. What happens to you in a power cut? Nothing.
So, what about your head?
Can't feel a thing. They inserted the tiniest wafer into my brain and, oh my God, look at the result. Synced us up. No keyboard. I don't need a keyboard ever again.
You did that by thinking?
It can't read my mind. Not yet, but the wafer tracks activity in the neural pathway and micro-movements in the retina to predict what I'm thinking.
But that is reading your mind.
Let's see where everyone is. There's Aunt Rosie. She's at home. Lincoln's in school. Lee's not in school. Should be. Where is he? In the park. Don't tell Rosie. Gran's at home in the kitchen. What a surprise. Let's find Ruby. She's in a bar called the Marine Tide, and she's just bought a bottle of House White for £56.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
56 quid for the house white.
Oh my god, how did it go, Beth? How are you? Did it work? Are you completely synced up now?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm with Mum and Dad, and I've just realised you're in trouble.
You should be in college.
56 quid.
For God's sake, Bethany!
That's amazing. And a little bit like spying. What if I didn't want you tracking me?
Well, that's a good question. Now, can you imagine? What if your father was having an affair or something?
Okay.
You're in my contacts. That's permission, according to the law.
But I still don't understand. You can run software like this on a keyboard. So why do you need the operation?
I'm trying to explain it in ways you can understand, but the connection is so much more. While we were talking, at exactly the same time, I wondered about the 80 Days of Rain, where it came from, why it was, what comes next. And I keyed into satellites just 30 seconds ago, so I can see the course of El Nino, and I can tap into pressure sensors along the Atlantic coast and barometric readings from the ships at sea. If I put all of that together, I'm there. I'm inside it, the tide, the depth of the sea, and the curl of the waves within me. And right now in Charles Street, Pasadena, 15-year-old girl called Ethany Cross has written her first song and put it online, and she's got the sweetest voice. So when I combine all of that, it's joy. In my head, it is absolute joy.